What's up, crypto fiends? Average crypto investor, aka farming the microcaps, here to talk about impermanent loss and what that means and how it's calculated. As always, nothing said in these videos is financial advice, and you should always do your own research before investing any money. So what exactly is impermanent loss and where does it come from? Well, first we need to back up and explain a few things. For those who are familiar with the stock market, stocks usually work with an order book that provides a bid-ask spread. You set the price you are willing to buy your stock at, and a seller will set the price that they are willing to sell their stock at, and the brokers will connect the buyer and seller. There are more things at play there, such as market makers, but for our explanation, this is sufficient. Crypto decentralized exchanges work a little bit differently than brokers do. They work as an automated market maker, or AMM. This setup allows the decentralized exchanges to facilitate trades between people without having to hold the cryptocurrency in custody. The way they are able to facilitate these trades are with liquidity provider tokens, or LPs. LPs are tokens that are given to someone who deposits two different tokens into a pool to provide liquidity. Let's say we want to facilitate trades on the Avalanche network between Thor tokens and AVAX tokens. We can add our Thor and AVAX tokens to the liquidity pool, and we are given a Thor AVAX LP in return. Let's say that pool had a total value of $10,000 after we deposit, and we deposit $1,000 worth. This means that we have 10% of the liquidity pool and will receive 10% of the fees generated by the pool in exchange for our liquidity provision. There's an even more recent development in regards to LP tokens, that is yield farming. There are some protocols that began offering staking for their LP tokens and would pay out a reward in either one of the tokens in the liquidity pool or a third token. This created opportunities for investors to yield farm by jumping around to different protocols based off of the compounded rewards, with the tertiary token being paid out. So let's say that in the example above, we have our Thor AVAX LP token earning fees from the liquidity pool. Then we take our LP token and we stake it to another pool that pays us in USDC. This would be an example of yield farming. This is also how there are pools that have outrageously high APY percents, some even in the thousands or tens of thousands of APY. There are some risks associated with yield farming, and we are here today to talk about one in particular: impermanent loss. Impermanent loss happens when there is a change in the underlying tokens within your LP token that is disproportionate to your initial stake. Essentially, when you are providing liquidity, you are establishing the ratio between the two tokens that you are providing. In our above example, when we provided $1,000 of liquidity, let's assume Thor's price was $1,000 and AVAX was 100, establishing a 10-to-1 ratio when we establish the LP token. The liquidity pool needs a 50-50 ratio, so when you established it, you provided 5 AVAX and 0.5 Thor to create the LP token. This gives the total liquidity pool 5 Thor and 50 AVAX for its $10,000 total value. Now what happens if Thor's value goes up? This is where impermanent loss comes into play. Let's say that Thor goes to $1,200 and the AVAX is staying the same. This would change the ratio in the pool to 4.6 Thor and 54.8 AVAX. However, you still have the same 10% share of the pool, so if you withdrew, you would be left with 0.46 Thor and 5.48 AVAX. So you lost some of your Thor and gained some AVAX. If you had held onto your Thor, you would have $600 worth and $500 worth of AVAX. However, since you LP'd, you now have $552 worth of Thor and $548 worth of AVAX, resulting in an impermanent loss of 0.41%. Impermanent loss can very quickly outpace any fee revenue you are getting or tokens you are farming if the ratio moves sharply in any direction. This is where strategies that involve stablecoin yield farming come into play, because they should keep their ratio as long as both stablecoins maintain their peg. If you're interested in playing with different scenarios, I will leave a calculator in the pinned comment so that way you can check it out yourself. Have you ever provided liquidity or staked an LP token? Let me know in the comments below. As always, if you learned something today, hit the like button and subscribe with the bell notification turned on so you can be alerted when my next video goes live. That's all for now. Stay safe, and don't worry, crypto fiends, we are all going to make it.